Hey everybody, so working on my Tahoe again. 2005 Chevy Tahoe Z71 four-wheel drive with the JL4 active brake control RPO code. So had a front brake line start leaking, and anybody in the Northeast knows that brake lines are a issue usually. So I'm out here working on it, hating every minute of it, because who likes working on brake lines? So I could have either replaced that one line, or I figured maybe I could put a stainless line in. And so I got some stainless lines from my Dodge from SS Tube, and I wasn't super impressed by them. It looked like they were flared by hand, and they didn't seal well at all. Like, I had leaks everywhere, and it took me a while to get it to stop leaking. Some of them I just tightened up a little bit more and it stopped leaking. Other ones I had to really crank down on them because they just would not stop leaking. It eventually just kind of stopped leaking on its own, which is good. But like I say, I'm sure they make a good product. It might be different now, but I know the ones that I got, like I say, the flares, they look like they were done by hand, and they weren't like centered straight, and some of them were kind of a little funky, so I didn't want to go with them again. Plus, they were a little expensive. So Dorman, because everybody loves Dorman, makes a stainless kit for this vehicle. It's $100 for the regular kit, the non-active brake control, and it's $125 for the active brake control kit, which I have the active brake control kit. So I purchased it. I figured I'd try it. The reviews looked all right. Some people were like, yeah, they work, but they're not great. Other people said they fit right in, awesome. Other people said they're complete garbage, but I'll give it a try. It's going to kind of stink if they don't seal up because they are stainless, but I didn't really see anybody say anything about them not sealing. But I know stainless inherently doesn't like to seal very well, so I figured I'd give it a try. So I took the wheel well liner out. Right there is where I had my leak, and it was running down the side of the frame because of these little clips they like to use to impregnate the rust in there. So right there is where it started leaking. So I'm not going to do the rear because I don't have a problem with them at the moment, and you got to take the tank down, and I really don't want to do this to begin with. So I'm just going to do the whole front set. You got these two lines that come off that go down. These got to come off first because you can't get those ones behind it because these are full lines. They don't split this second one, or this one that goes to the right wheel there. They don't split that. So that's one whole line all the way from there, all the way down. It's going to be kind of interesting to try to get it in there, to be honest. So I'm going to do these 4 lines first, and then it does get these other ones with the flex line in there. The ones that they give you do not have the flex in them though. They are hard lines. So they give you basically everything. They give you the 2 from the master cylinder to the proportioning valve. They give you the 1 line that comes down to the pump right there. Yeah, that comes out of here to the pump, I believe. Anyway, yeah, so I got a few of them up here. So to move on. So I got to pull these down first, and then I'm going to take, obviously, these ones out. When you want to put them back in, the order you probably want to do is the order that I'm doing is this line first, it goes to that wheel, this wheel second, and then these 2 have to kind of go in at the same time, but you got to kind of get them in there right. The front line here clips in, and I believe it goes to the bottom of that bracket there, or the plastic holder, and then I think the other one goes to the top. So they kind of come in and kind of like flip. So I think I did do a little breakdown. You got to kind of get them in there and then flip them around once they're in there. So the order I'm doing it is front right, front left, the front of that proportioning valve, and the rear of that proportioning valve. And then you got to kind of get, once they're in there, you got to like kind of flip one around the other. It's just not gonna be funky. Anyway, so this is the kit that I got. That guy right there. These are the 2 rear lines. It also gives you the lines that go on the rear axle too. So you get the 2 lines on the rear axle, the 2 lines from the ABS modulator that come back are in there. So it gives you, this is the front one that goes to the front right. These little spots in here between the thing, this has to be bent straight. So they're just showing you where it has to be straightened. So this will be a straight bend. So this is that one. They give you the two from that proportioning valve there. I think this is the other wheel. Oh, they got like a breakdown on them. That's part of the code that shows you where they go. So you see how that's got an MC in it. So it's going to be a master cylinder line. And then they give you the three other lines that go from the master cylinder to the proportioning valve, and then the one that goes to that, I don't know, the modulator pump, whatever that is. Don't really know the whole name for it. So I'm not going to record all this. If I come to points that I think are necessary to show you, I'll show you. I would take pictures of where the lines go, where they sit in those brackets. I don't know if it's going to be that big of a deal to do that, because I don't know if these are going to be that perfect going in. You might have to kind of bend them and tweak them, but basically I took pictures of all the intersecting points, where the lines came from, where they fit in the holders. I wrote down where they went through the other brackets, the little plastic tabs that hold them down, so I know where to put them in them brackets. And I took pictures of the ABS modulator also, and where the lines went in there, and I wrote them all down. So basically, I'm gonna put these in, see how they go, give my opinion of them, and whether or not I think they're a good deal. Hopefully they don't all become a problem, and now I just opened up Pandora's box by basically opening up all the lines when I didn't have to, and I could have just repaired that front one like I was going to. Basically, I just figured, I thought, well, you know what, I'll try the stainless set because I don't want to do this again. And I know that they rot out right there in that front wheel where they go through those holders. So I figured at minimum, I'm going to change those ones out all through those holders. And I'll probably do the master cylinder and the other proportioning valve too while I'm there, because I'm draining the whole system anyway. So yeah. Anyway, so I'm going to get these put in, and I'll either come back with some more information or I won't. All right, so this line that goes all the way to the other side, it's kind of a little bit of a nightmare. The way I'm doing this is probably not the way that you would probably normally think to do it. So I thought about pushing it down that way and kind of bending it out and going this way. But that's not how I'm actually getting it in there. So what I did was I tuck it out to the side like this, and I'm feeding it in over the frame, and I'm running it down this way. So instead of trying to push it through this way and that way, I'm just running it around. So like I say, the part that goes to the ABS module is on this side, and I came in from this end. I went up over the frame, and I'm just tucking it through, and I'm trying to kind of twist it as I'm feeding it down in the back. So you can see how it's coming through there. And you can see where I stuck it up there where it goes. So yeah, I'm just kind of trying to get this aligned. Once I get it in, I'll have to kind of bend this one a little bit to kind of get it through there. It kind of goes up in there, so I'll just end up kind of bending it a little bit to get through, or maybe I'll do something. I don't know. It might actually be better to start over there on the top of the frame and just go over the top of the frame and fish it in like that. I don't know. But this is where I am at the moment. All right, that actually worked. So I got that in. I'm not gonna pop that in just yet because for some reason this one goes on top of this clip, so I gotta leave that loose. Put all the other ones in, clip that closed, and then put that one in. But this is the first one that has to go in. So second one is gonna be this guy right here, and then the next two are going to be for the proportioning valve. I might try to put all three of them in there at the same time. I don't know exactly what I'm gonna do. Or I might just do one at a time. I haven't really decided yet. I thought about like this one here, instead of trying to feed it down, I think I'm gonna try to feed it up. And then these two got some pretty 90-degree bends on them, so those I might feed down. I don't know, it's just kind of a learning process. So I got the line in here, a little gap there. It's in all the clips. there isn't a very big gap here, so I'm gonna put a piece of like rubber hose on there. I tried to, I mean, I'll keep trying to massage it over there, but as of right now, it keeps wanting to slide this way. So I'll probably cut a piece of 1/4-inch hose and then just wrap it around there so it pushes, it doesn't rub the line, because it's pretty tight like that. Or I don't know, I might be able to kind of massage it a little bit more too. It's bent kind of funny. There is a clip right up here, so you don't get a lot of wiggle, but that's the hardest one. All right, so here's a bit of the issue I have with the way they put these in there. First of all, this line doesn't even need to be bent to fit in the box they put it in, but they bend it anyway, just so you can have to straighten it. But if you look, these are supposed to mirror each other. So this comes out and then they kind of mirror each other. And then at the end there, they sort of go different directions. So I had the same problem with the front left one. It was twisted kind of like that one that's kind of going in a different direction. So I think the one that's kind of at the 90 is the correct one. And I'll have to match the other one up to it. But I do have the other pieces that came off, which is right here. And you can see they do mirror each other all the way. So I'll have to obviously straighten these, but something to look for when you're putting these in. Well, I got these brake lines in. They weren't horrible, but it's hard to keep them straight when you're trying to pull them through a hole about this big. So anyway, they're in there. Some of them I fit up from underneath. Some of them I came in from the top, and is what it is. So I only changed the 4 that run along the frame rail because the other ones don't look too bad. So I'll show you those. So let's say I changed these ones here out the proportion valve, and these ones that run up here, they went right in. All the tube nuts were the right size, the right type. They all threaded in pretty easy. For the most part, it lines up. There's this one Renegade tube right there that isn't really playing with the rest of them. He's kind of in a league of his own. So I got it in there, so it's good. I can't really, the way it's twisted, it's kind of, it wasn't bent exactly right, so it's kind of twisting everything as I'm trying to straighten it. So I mean, it's good enough for what I'm doing. So they're all in the got them all in the little locks there, surprisingly. Down here, running through there, I did put some pieces of rubber around the 2 bottom tubes because they were close to the frame and I didn't want them to wear on the frame, so I put a couple of pieces of hose on there and slid them up. But run up here, that's kind of where they tuck in, so they're kind of nice. They went in there all right. I don't have any conflicts there. Everything comes up here. They're all on the ABS module. Like I say, I'm not doing the rear ones because I don't really want to get into that right now. And they seem all right. I guess if I have to, I'll do them later. But to be totally honest, when I usually do them, they don't really wind up inside the frame rail again. They kind of wind up over here. And I kind of put them through the hole there between the body mount and just run them along and then dive them back in where they got to go into the back, because I don't feel like taking the fuel tank down if I don't have to, because they do run right up top there. I don't think you can't see it, but they're right above the tank. Somebody said online that you could jack the body up, which I've done before, not for brake lines, but I've jacked the body up before to do body mounts and stuff on a Suburban I had. So it's not out of the realm of possibility, but I don't really want to do that either if I don't have to. Like I say, it does come with the ones that go on the rear axle too, so I guess if I do need them, I'll use them later. But it came out pretty good. So these are the ones for the master cylinder. But, I mean, you can see they're flared pretty well. Looks pretty nice. They all look pretty good actually, so I don't think we'll have a problem with them sealing, hopefully. Going in there tight, and all we got left to do is probably bleed everything, because I'm pretty sure I'm going to have to bleed the rears also. Yeah, so we'll do that, see if we got any leaks. Yep, so I bled all the brakes. I didn't have any leaks or anything like that. I used a pressure bleeder. I think it's a Mighty Vac pressure bleeder. And yeah, so I bled all four. I had to change a caliper on the driver's side rear because the bleeder valve broke off. I also had to I just changed the rotors while I was back there. So I ended up doing a brake job on the rear while I was here because the rotors were all kind of rusted up. There wasn't a lot of pad left, and a couple of the pads were jamming up in there. So I figured it was time. So I might as well do it while it's all apart. So new rear brakes, everything bled, nothing leaked. Like I said, I pressure bled at first, and then I activated the ABS module with a scan tool that I have, and then I re-bled them again. I like to use a hose. I ran a hose from the rear caliper all the way up to the master cylinder up here, and I just keep pumping it, and it will pretty much flush everything out because you just keep going. You don't wait to fill a bottle or anything like that. So once I had flushed everything out and bled it the first time and I had clean fluid, that's when I just kind of recycled it a little bit to get it up here. I make sure all the air was out. I did that with all four calipers, and I don't have any problems. So brakes work better because now the rear ones are working better again, and no more leaks. So I will say that I would probably use these brake lines again in the future for something else. They're pretty inexpensive, and being stainless, we'll see how long they last. If they're like a high quality stainless, or if they're basically technically stainless. Yeah, we'll see. So anyway, yeah, my thumbs up. So hope that helps somebody. Thanks for watching.